If you want to look at really bad policy in the nation, all you have to do is look towards California. I mean, after all, it took them less than 50 years to turn it from a red state that was beautiful, a wonderful place to be, into a blue nightmare. And of course, this is all due to leftist Democrat policies, okay? And much of this has been egged on in recent years by Gavin Newsom, possibly the worst governor in the United States of America. As we can see over here, yes, crime is spiraling out of control. You may remember the story where In-N-Out Burger, for the first time ever, had to close a store, not because it wasn't profitable, but because it wasn't safe. The crime was so rampant that they felt they could not keep their employees and their customers out of harm's way. So they decided rather than have this lucrative business thrive in California, they're going to shut it down. And of course, many other businesses are leaving as well, such as McDonald's, right? In San Francisco, after being open for 30 years, this McDonald's has decided to shut down because it can't survive due to the $20 an hour minimum wage hike. It's almost like conservatives have a crystal ball and we can tell the future. When you don't prosecute crime, crime goes up. When you raise minimum wage too high, what happens? Businesses go out of business. All of this is completely avoidable, but to the left, of course, they have to step on that landmine every single time. And this, of course, has caused many people to flee the state as quickly as possible. And most recently, Adam Carolla has come out and said, guess what? I'm out of here. He is leaving his home city of Los Angeles for greener pastures elsewhere in America because it's so crazy there in California. But let's hear him go ahead and discuss this. Check it out. But before we do, please comment and like on this video so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
And Gavin Newsom's success is, I like to have a beer with that guy. And it's like, he's a narcissistic douchebag. I've interviewed him on my podcast years ago. He's a slippery eel of nothingness. He says nothing. He says nothing. He's a sociopathic, narcissistic, empty bag. And we vote for this guy. He says nothing.
He doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to. That's the scary part of this equation.
Arguably
My
one of the
mom
top
is
three
voting for Gavin
Gavin.
Newsom, no matter what that pile of shit does. Yeah, I don't want to leave Los Angeles.
But you're done. You've decided.
Yeah, as many others have.
Oh, millions. But the problem is I'm like, okay, now you're going to Arizona and Nashville and you're going to bring your politics. I lived in Scottsdale for a while, 10 years ago, and there were so many Californians coming into Scottsdale. And we're all like, listen, don't ruin this. It's really great here. And look, so I think that's the fear. It's like, please, you ruin that. Don't bring it here.
Because they're so self-righteous that they think the real problem with, getting back to my poor dead mom is they cannot course correct. They can't just go, I made a mistake. This guy's an idiot. I shouldn't have voted for him. I was, maybe, I think the problem is, if you go back to Bill Clinton era, yeah, I was a Democrat and Bill Clinton made sense to me. But Bill Clinton was talking about a robust border and lowering taxes and, things that I agreed with. And then something happened along the way and they went nuts. And what I'm saying to normal people is, all right, you're not leaving the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
They left you because they're obsessed with the trans community and they don't care about the border. That's not your fault. That's their fault. They went nuts.
So Adam Carolla, of course, has no love for Gavin Newsom, okay? And a lot of this stems from an interview he gave him about 10 years ago, and I'll probably play that clip in a little bit, so stay tuned. But it's truly wonderful because he recognizes how empty Gavin Newsom actually is. He's a bunch of talking points and a bunch of lies all rolled together into this sociopathic entity that people find very attractive, but have no idea what he actually stands for. And that brings up another interesting point, right? The Democrats, okay? They used to actually be much more closely aligned with Republicans on certain issues. You have to go back 60, 70 years to get to those issues. But essentially, yeah, they used to actually love America. They used to actually profess to have Christian values. But then, of course, they get taken over completely by the radical left and everything changes, right? What do they really care about now? trans issues, right? And that's about it. Nothing else, except for maybe class and race warfare, okay? But that, of course, has ruined the state. Now, although it's wonderful watching Adam Carolla bash Gavin Newsom on this platform, let's check out a recent interview he did with Megyn Kelly.
An excellent emissary in terms of passion, engagement, articulation, all of the things that, make for a good campaigner, though we know you're not running for president yourself.
No chance.
No chance.
Yeah. Who in their mind would want to run when you have someone of such esteem as our incumbent president of the United States, with a record of accomplishments and a man of character, a man of decency? I'm old school. Talk about loyalty. I'll go to ends of the earth for this guy. I really would. I'm not making that up.
I'm glad he said that at the end, because I was wondering whether he was joking. Weren't you?
Yeah. Well, it is kind of funny because when you exaggerate, that's when it becomes clear that you're lying, Mm-hmm. So if somebody said to you, like, if you had a short, fat daughter and somebody said, how's Helga doing? Did she find a date for the prom? And you went, no, she hasn't. Helga hasn't found a date for the prom, but it's puzzling because she's exquisite looking and she's so beautiful and she's better looking than the best looking supermodel and her personality is so vibrant. That's when it seems like you're lying,
Yeah.
And the thing about Biden is such an unmitigated train wreck that when people try to prop him up, it seems surreal. And it also seems like they're lying. Like if somebody said, what do you think of Joe Biden? And I was like, well, he's doing his job, I guess. Really, how good is any president? At least he's not Trump or something like that. Then you'd believe it. If I went, this guy's sharp as a tack and leading us in the direction of light and truth, and you'd go, oh, get the hell out of here. And that's what Newsom sounds like. But keep in mind, Newsom is a narcissistic sociopath douchebag.
Yes, it's the over-exaggeration that lets you know that, yeah, he's totally not telling the truth. And I love how Gavin Newsom, in his little clip there, actually at the very end has that Bidenism of saying, hey, I'm totally telling the truth. I'm totally serious. I'm not lying. Just to kind of drive home the fact that, yes, you are. So, yeah, all of this, of course, is driving Adam Carolla to get the heck out of Dodge, to leave California and all of the troubles and woes behind, the rampant crime, the high taxes, the stores closing down, right? Imagine being able to have a wonderful lifestyle in a place where your life isn't in jeopardy and your business isn't in danger of going under every single day. All right, so Adam Carolla, of course, is making the right decision. Now, a couple of times he actually referenced interviewing Gavin Newsom a few years ago, and that was a wonderful viral clip, but let's go ahead and check it out here.
Look down the road 6 months. Yes, your husband lost his job. That's why you need to sock away some money when he's gainfully employed. Yes, they foreclosed on your home. That's why you need to have a network, a community, right, friends, family members, money put away.
I got it, but think about it,
Don't have the kids.
Half of African Americans in the state of California, roughly half of Latino families, have no access to a checking account or an ATM. Things we take for granted. They don't have a checking account.
What's wrong with them?
And well, because they don't have the resources to sock those things away.
Well, why do we have them?
A lot of different reasons, but roughly half those families don't.
Why do Armenians have them?
But where they end up is in check cashing places.
But I want to know why
those
two groups don't have access.
Well, a lot of it just happens to be that. We can talk about
flawed?
This. No, they're hardly flawed, but they're struggling.
Genetically
Folks are making
flawed.
their word. Hardly, not absolutely.
But okay,
not.
Do Asians have this problem?
A lot of communities have. A lot of whites have these problems.
Oh,
but
so that's not just black and Hispanic.
No, but
why did you bring up black and Hispanic?
Because the magnitude is ominous.
But why so many of them?
It just happens to be the magnitude.
That's the way God planned it?
Not at all.
Well, what happened to them?
There are a lot of issues, and that the communities are struggling. A lot
why
of new
are they
immigrants.
Struggling?
A lot of different reasons. Lack of
Hispanics
opportunity.
Have been here. Blacks have been here longer than we've been here.
Well, we can surmise.
What about Asians? They were put in internment camps.
Yeah, in fact, it all initiated out of San Francisco.
All
and
right.
The Chinese Exclusion Act came out of progressive San Francisco.
Are they the check
a lot of Asians certainly do.
Oh, so why don't you conclude them?
The only reason why is the magnitude
There's
the
so
problem.
many more.
The magnitude and percentage.
But there's no
terms
way to figure out how that happened.
of Africa. We could talk about it. You know what I'm dealing with? I don't want to have a sociological debate. I
Sure,
want
why
to deal
would
with
you?
No, here's why.
Why would you want to do that? Because the person from the Times wouldn't write good things about you if
God,
you did that.
No, that's not the case, because I
You
want
don't
to deal
want
with
to get into
reality.
that.
No.
You want to deal with reality.
I want to deal with
tell
the
you what
reality of people
is.
that are struggling. People are suffering. I want to deal with the problems in
Why
a pragmatic
are they
way.
struggling
I don't
and
want an
suffering?
idea. We can hold hands and surmise about all these
Why
underlying
are they?
reasons.
I don't want to do that.
but
I want to know why
focus
they're
on the
struggling.
challenge.
Why are they struggling?
A lot of folks are struggling because they can't find
Why
jobs.
blacks and
because
Hispanics?
they're working.
Why blacks and Hispanics?
Across the board, all
Why?
socioeconomic.
Okay, so everybody is.
Everybody's struggling.
So Asians are suffering just as much as blacks.
The face of welfare is not an African American family.
So it's Asian, Jewish, it's all of them.
Caucasian. It's
Okay,
a lot of
so
folks
we're all
in society.
struggling.
A lot of folks are struggling.
Okay.
I love how Adam Carolla is relentless in that clip, right? Gavin Newsom tries to spin his yarn and say, oh, we have Hispanics and blacks who are affected mostly by this. And Adam Carolla's like, why? Why is that? Please tell us. Well, it's not just them. It's the Asian community. It's everybody. Then why specifically mention them? Because it's a liberal talking point. That's why, right? You have to make people feel bad for the downtrodden minority groups. So, of course, you can then go ahead and increase taxes and get more control over them. So, yes, he just doesn't give up. He puts Gavin Newsom right on the spot. And I love that clip because of it. Yeah, it really exposes Gavin Newsom for the talking head that he is. He says a whole lot of words without actually saying anything. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay safe out there, people, because they're coming after you.